welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue to button up a few things. We're going to get the seats in and possibly put the passenger side door on. I'm going to get Emily to give me a hand, kind of ripping it apart and taking off the old seals and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I explained it in a couple videos ago, but the passenger side door was rotten up where the mirror was. I'm not really sure how the mirror stayed on, but that whole steel bar that goes through the top of that door in between the fiberglass skin was completely rotten. So I picked a used one up. We have it here. I've had it here for a while. I just never really dove into it. I'm going to use all my old hardware. The latch and all that kind of stuff is still on the door, so I've got the hinges. We're going to get the door cleaned up and then assess kind of the condition of the door, and we're going to stick it back on the car so we can kind of get this thing all up in one piece. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. We'll get the seats in and I'll show you what I'm doing there. So let's go. Alright, so I've got some wires here and a bunch of crap, some plugs and some switches. So these are momentary switches, and this is going to go front up, front down, back up, back down, purge the tank, and then the switch to turn on the compressors. This will be cleaned up, obviously. I had this in the last couple of videos. I don't know if you've seen that from the beginning, but they were going to be, you know, left up, right up, all that kind of thing. But instead we're doing front up together, rear up together, switches on and off for the stuff at the back, and then the purge. So I've also added the rear trunk release. I've eliminated it all from the doors and all that crap. That's like the most complicated rear door switch I've ever seen, because some things have to be a certain way before it works. This thing has to be on, this door can't be open, you know, the whole thing. So we're going to get soldering these up. Welcome back. and we're back again wiring in some of these switches. So as you can see from the last clip, the switch is real nice. We're going to put something to have switch power to put all the power to the car. I guess I skipped that step before, and now I'm scrambling to kind of figure out why the car is drawing. So basically I think the key is still on because I'm giving power to a lot of the electrical stuff when it shouldn't be. So we're going to fix that later. For now, we're going to put a battery cutoff switch because I just, for safety reasons also. So we have these switches here. Basically, we're going to start wiring this stuff up. I put the center console in for now just to kind of get a lay of the land. This is going to go in this area, sort of, or maybe even in the center once I get it all cleaned up. We're going to hack away at this and cut at it and stuff and make sure that I have enough room for wiring. Sorry for the noise, it's bloody hot in here and the fan's on. This is going to go in here and wrap up in there. We've got the window switches in just for fun to test them out because I have to do some work on the driver's door. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start soldering these together and make a connection so we can open the hatch and do all that other fun stuff. So we'll get started. So, got some buttons here, kind of glitching out a little bit, and I'm going to start putting some fuses in, and we'll test this out. So first, we'll start with this is the line for the rear hatch. We'll put a 20 amp in there, and we'll hit the button. Fantastic. Okay, and then we'll put the interior lights fuse in. There we go. It's weird, it had some power going by. So we'll put 10 amp in the fuses, or in the interior lights. Oh, that works. Wait a minute. Right, okay, yeah. Okay. I got it. Okay, what else is left? So the solenoids, we'll put 15. I'll put that in there. Nicely. Should work. And then got these mixed up. So I have the up and down mixed. And I'll just switch the plugs, and that'll be it. It'll be good. Now to clean this up a little bit, I think it's fine. Now what we're going to do is put this battery separator, or like a disconnect switch. We'll put this here somewhere, maybe right there for now, or maybe even down here, just to kind of get it out of the way. We're going to put the positive from the battery to this fuse panel here that controls all this new stuff in the car. All the regular power cables went to this as well from the starter, as you know from before. So the unfortunate part of that is there was some draw somewhere, so the lights are either stuck on or something is drawing the battery. So what we're going to do is disconnect this and the computer altogether just by one wire. We're going to disconnect it with this, and we can add more things onto it. You've got battery 1 and 2. This is to add more than one battery, but we're just going to use it to disconnect the battery, and yeah, it's going to be real cool. And that means all we need is the rack and pinion, and we can go for a test drive. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this other seat as well now that this is done. Tie up some of these wires, and we'll head to the back and continue working. Okay, what we're trying to do here is figure out why the coolant gauge is not working properly. I believe the car was at the temperature when the rad hose blew, but I'm not 100% on what the temperature actually is. So I've ordered a resistance tool, I guess, that adds resistance to a circuit if you want to, just to verify what the manual says to what the gauge should be reading. So we're just going to make sure that that's working before we start it up again. I bought another coolant sensor for the side, or driver's side upper sensor on the engine here, and what happened was I was heating it up with the heat gun as I had it off the car, and I was heating it up with the heat gun, and it didn't quite get to temperature. I was testing it with a temperature gun, and I guess because this is reflective, it didn't quite do what it was supposed to do. So I ended up using the torch and blew the circuit apart. So it kind of exploded, and yeah, it smelled really bad. So anyways, now we're going to put the old one back in, and we're going to switch over to the one that's in the center of the car, or the center of the engine, right above the water pump. I think that might be the sensor I'm looking for. So as you've seen in a previous video, that sensor did not have a receptacle on the end of it. The end of it kind of corroded off, and it's a single pin with like a ground around the outside. Now I tested that to the ground, and it's grounded. and the center pin that was on that sensor, I guess, gave out a signal. This new one that they offer on Rock Auto is a, I guess, upgrade to that. So there's 2 pins within. I don't know if you can see that, but there's 2 pins within here and 2 wires that come out. One of these does not go to ground. So I don't know what this is going to do. So we're going to try it. I'm going to kind of put the polarity different ways. We're going to heat it with a heat gun, try and watch the gauge at the same time, and try and figure out why this coolant sensor is not reading on the dashboard. Okay, so that is a problem. It appears that the coolant sensor plug is actually the oil pressure plug. For some reason, I don't know what happened there. I must have got the wires mixed up. I tried the plug from the oil temperature sensor on the coolant sensor and it didn't work. So I dug into this wiring down here. And obviously, you know, read some books and things like that. Just had a chat with my bro on the phone, so nice talking to you, Chris. I had some time to look through this manual. So through this main service manual, it doesn't tell you that there's more than one coolant sensor. It only shows the one at the very front, which I'm also getting 4 volts on at cold temperature, which is perfect. I did pick up this other manual, the electrical troubleshooting shop manual, if you can see that. And in this, for the LCD display, it shows a dark green wire that turns into a dark blue wire at the sensor itself. So always love it when the sensors or wiring changes color partway through the car. So I looked in this mess of wiring right here that I have, and I found the dark green wire. Now I'm going to hook up this. So I found the dark green wire, and now I'm going to hook up this resistance substitution box, which I picked up on Amazon. It was $35, and it did not come assembled. I had to solder all the wires and resistors on here to add resistance to a circuit. So this I picked up because I wanted to match what it says in the manual. So it says certain resistance is certain temperature, and then I can verify that with the sensor as well. So right now I'm going to add this in line on the green wire to ground, and then we're going to watch the gauge. So we are now connecting to ground. Oops. And we're at 10 ohms. Hey, look at that, it's working. Yes, I love that when that happens. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens. So now I just need to verify what 160 degrees Celsius means in resistance. I don't know if this is even accurate, but this thing says 10, whatever that is. So that's huge, that's awesome. So what I'm going to do now is, off camera, I will switch the oil pressure sensor line with the dark green wire. I need to figure out where this went because it seems to have disappeared somewhere. I don't really know where I put it, but we're going to get that. I'm going to restart this wiring. We'll get that going, so that's fine. Also, the coolant fan is not coming on when it gets up to temperature, so definitely need to figure that out as well. It is Emily. Do you have a joke for us? No joke? No joke in the last video? No joke in this video?
I do have a joke.
Oh, you got a pickle joke? Jar, I mean, pickle jar?
I don't have a pickle joke. I have a pickle jar that needs opening.
I will open the pickle jar for you. Pickle jar! They're yum-yums. They're yum-yummy.
They're sweet.
They're very sweet and yummy.
Okay. You ready for this?
Yeah.
What is a baker's favorite toy?
A baker's favorite toy.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, get in there, talk about www. Call me, you got then that naked.
Play-Doh. Now all concentration is gone.
Concentration's gone, yeah. Oh. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna go finish dinner.
You finished dinner? That means I need to go. So we figured this out, and I'm gonna get this done. We will see you on the next one. We will then hopefully have the rack and pinion in by then. We can put this in, get it on the ground. And we're supposed to close on the house next week. That means hustle time, and we got to get the house prepped for living because it's not currently livable. So we will get that on the go. This car needs to go. All this stuff in here needs to go. So I got to start packing and get that done. So this is huge. This is great. So that's going to be it for this one. We are going to continue on with a few things. I need to figure out why the fan's not coming on when it reaches temperature. If I'm maybe not testing it correctly, I need to check the relay, make sure that's working properly. Excuse me. And clean up this wiring again. We need to figure out some of this loom. Part of the issue, or the loom that I bought, is melting very close to where the headers are, so I need to figure that out as well. But so far so good. This is huge. This is awesome that I figured this out quickly. What I might do is just move this black wire, instead of undoing the whole thing, find out where it goes down here, and we'll do little swapsies, and we will figure that out. So thanks so much for watching. We will see you on the next one. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Below description will tell you all the pieces and parts I used in this video. I will put a link down to the resistance substitution box as well. This is already paid for itself, and also, if you don't have a manual for your car, an actual factory manual, get one. This has been so helpful with rewiring the car and doing things like that. Even though I messed up, it's no fault of the book. I just probably messed up a color or something here, but anyway. So far so good. So this is great. We're going to start cleaning up in here, start wiring some more things eventually, but for now, we're going to get this thing back on the ground and get it running and outside for a quick little shakedown before we put it on a tow truck and take it to the new house. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.